more about the school that you're going to be travelling with prior to the tour is absolutely critical. Explain some examples of what you're wanting to know, how you can help tailor the tour when you've got that kind of knowledge.
Well, it also helps to find out boys, girls, relate the numbers on that for a start, because if you've got girls on there, you can angle it. People often forget that women took a big part of World War One. It is often forgotten, which is a great pity. You have to put it in the context that the men went off to war. Who was going to drive the trams? Who was going to drive the trains? Who was going to be the postman?
Who was going to make the bombs?
Who's going to, yes.
The Canaries.
The Canaries, as they were called, the munitionettes.
Yeah.
And then you've got the VAD, you've got the Red Cross, and all these women, high-class society women that volunteered to go, away from their luxury life of living in their stately homes here, went out onto the First World War, onto the front there.
It's like you say, that's your role, isn't it, to give that balance for you of everything.
And that's what you've got to put across to them.
And what about religion, the religion of school? Where does that kind of play?
That's very important, because, again, that's one of the things we find is often forgotten. Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, they all took part.
They all took part, yes. And that's another side of it. When you're talking to the school, or perhaps what's the if you like to call it this, the ethnic mix within the school? Have we got folks whose origins were India, maybe several generations ago, but they still have, Indian origins. And so therefore we can tailor the tour to make sure we visit the Indian sites like Neuve Chapelle and create a balance and get everybody involved rather than just the English Anglo-Saxons, if you want of a better description.
Yeah.
One poignant story that you told me was when a child has a family member that they know is potentially buried in the location that you are, that you get them to it. And I like the analogy that you like to leave them to have a conversation with their lost relative. Just describe that, how that works and what you do.
Well, after we've taken them down, we get the school with them and try and find, as Tony said earlier, research information, and sometimes they bring the information with them and hold a little service there and get the person to lay a cross. Most of us carry remembrance crosses in our bags, and so they do that. And the school then, their friends go, oh, we went and had a little ceremony there because of a pilgrimage. And then always, the way I work it is I always leave them with them to talk to the headstone, to talk to the grandparent or great-great-uncle, to tell them, oh, my name's Anne, I'm out here, I'm in year 13, I'm studying history and I've come out today, and leave them there to talk. They're a bit embarrassed at first, but as Tony says, normally we get their best friend to sit with them just to give them reassurance and everything. And then I take the whole school, teachers away, everything.
Nice.
And we also do, another thing we do is we get them to sign the book when we go to the Commonwealth War Grave Cemeteries. The visitors there. And I always say to the person, write your thoughts. I said, I don't want to know. Here's the book. You sign it on behalf of the school and write the thoughts that this has made. And then shut the book and put it back in the safe.
See, they're making history right there, aren't they?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Very poignant. And I should imagine those moments, like I say, from me being on tour, that kids are never, ever, ever going to forget. I know from my experience on tour, I will never forget the moments on that trip. Just certain things trigger just how impactful they are. I think hearing a guide, someone like Richard Broadhead on the battlefield, bringing out individual stories, they resonate, they sit with you, you can relate them to your own life, and you can see the students doing that, like thinking about their own parents and the age they are, and these were the age that these kids were running out and losing their lives.
And we have hidden little treasures. I go to a little cemetery where Peter Pan's buried, and you show them Llewellyn Davis, Lieutenant Llewellyn Davis, and he is Peter Pan. The story of Peter Pan was written about him. And
interesting.
It just looks like an ordinary grave.
Yeah.
but you know the history behind it.
Yeah, it is those bringing those stories to life, isn't it?
Oh,
Which
yes.
is the most important thing.